dread it, run from it, destiny still arrives. Grab your popcorn, because there was some serious shocks today from England to Spain to Germany, everywhere else. We need to tuck into these matches today. As always, I'm going to have them in the, whatever you call it, chapters on YouTube, so you can skip through to whatever game you're interested in. I know many of you are here for the Madrid derby. If you missed it earlier, I gave United their own video, but I'll cover them briefly again today. So without wasting any more of your time, if you appreciate these daily videos that we are still running for the past 2.5 months, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do whatever. We start at Selhurst Park this time, right? This game was essentially something that has been meaning to happen for weeks upon weeks upon weeks. And I can already see in advance what guys are going to be saying. Oh, people are being reactionary. What do you mean? It's one loss, blah, blah, blah. Like, I fully understand it, right? They've won every single game. But to everyone, and even I think the most diehard Liverpool fans, you knew this game was coming. I don't want to do the whole 6-7 gimmick, because I know how you men are childish, but it could have been 6 or 8 goals in the first half, were it not for Alisson putting in an absolute masterclass, again showing why he's the best keeper in the Premier League, and again is knocking on the door of Petr Cech and them, man, to be the best Premier League keeper ever. But anyway, as I said, Crystal Palace came out. By the way, big credit to them, right? They are now 18 games unbeaten in all comps, including obviously a couple. Well, you've got the FA Cup final, you've got the International Supercopa de Anglais final where they beat Liverpool themselves, to be fair, and they started like a house on fire, right? Saar gets his goal, and already again it was like a fully deserved, because genuinely that first half, every single 2-3 minutes you'll see Mateta in behind running. He tries to finesse it, it might hit the post, or Alisson again spreads himself, saves it, left hand, right hand, his knees are saving it, his face is saving it. I'm thinking, brother, what is going on here? Like, Munoz was through on goal as well, yet again saved. And one thing I have to say, Konate, I don't understand what's going through this guy's head. Do you want to be here or not? Because sometimes he looks in and it's like he's a complete titan, you know, a mammoth at centre back, and the other times it's like, yeah, do you know what, I kind of want to go to Real Madrid. And then he plays like he did today, generally spinning around, you know, like in the cartoons here, where like, see Eddie and Eddie, they get planked and they whack his head and they just see the stars are spinning around. That was Konate, bro. I'm thinking, what is going on here? Saar, again, we say it time and time again. We can do Saar, for those of us who remember the Liverpool, for the last game, for 2020 when he's at Watford. We can do so many, for those of us who remember. He just seems to love playing against Liverpool. But, as per usual, we know how this game goes, right? First half, nothing's really happening for Liverpool's attack. Isak, again, we can say fitness and whatnot. He's adjusting to the game. Hey, it's a record signing. I expect more than what we saw there, which was basically nothing. I can't even give you something of note to mention for him. Now, second half, this is where it gets peak. Florian Wirtz. One thing I want to say, and I mean this without even trolling. You guys know I keep on saying it. I keep on reiterating. I've defended Wirtz. I mean this with complete sincerity. No word of a lie. I thought he came on second half. So when he got hooked off and they were screaming 007, I said, hold on a minute. He just came on and he got subbed off. I'm not even trying to troll. Or, you know, like TikTok again, we can do the whole troll, rage bait, whatever. I genuinely didn't realize Florian Wirtz was playing, because I just thought he came on second half. And again, we saw him have that point blank range from like 3 yards that way. He missed it. And look, to be fair, as we know Liverpool, second half, they come out flying again. Everyone's, you know, attacking now. Honest lot, I don't know, gives them some sort of glucose sugar or something at halftime. I don't know what happens in that dressing room, but they wake up second half. And now we saw the reverse, right? We saw Dean Henderson, you know, making bare saves as well. But again, the game should have been out of sight, out of mind. Now what happens? Something that, in fact, let me not even get there first, because we got to speak on something as well. Mohamed Salah. Are we allowed to say what we're witnessing, or is it racismo? Is it West Africans that are controlling SofaScore, or all these rating apps that are rating him below 6? Is it West Africa that are making those systems? Is it West Africa that made sure that Salah, when Szoboszlai did a volley that was flying into the bottom corner, Salah deflected it over the bar? Or it's his own fault? Because at some point in time, guys, we got to address the elephant in the room. That is Mohamed Salah. Now, what's happened afterwards? Again, we're thinking, all right, Liverpool piling on the pressure. We know how this game goes by now. Yes, Palace have the best defense in the league pretty much in terms of numbers, not like personnel, in terms of the numbers. By the way, Mark Gahey absolutely padlocked when it was against his next team, so to speak. Anyway, Liverpool score an equaliser. How do they do that? Mohamed Salah does hand of God, minute 86. In the VAR era, a man did hand of God with his arm in the air like that everybody can see it. If they showed the back replay, it bounces off his hands and then changes direction. Nothing given, and Chiesa flies in to score 1-1. You're thinking, oh yeah, we know what's going to happen now. They're going to go and win it. Now, I do want to mention something as well, because I know what's going to happen in the comments. Oh my days, how can you say it was a handball, but then you don't mention the corner? First and foremost, I agree with you fully. The initial goal was not a corner, right? It did not come off him. It should have been a goal kick. However, I think it's understandable that every now and then a referee or a linesman may miss who got the last touch of their ankle or their shin pad or whatever, right? These things, like, it happens. It can be an accident. I'm not saying it's fine, but it can be an accident. Going to VAR, showing us that it's a handball, and then still not saying handball, that is 10 times worse. And furthermore, you know, for a corner, you still got to go and defend that, right? They've given the corner, now it's your job to defend it. A handball that leads directly to the goal less than like 2 seconds later is far different to not spotting who's got the last touch of their ankle. In my opinion anyway, again, I'm sure they're going to disagree, no problem. But lo and behold, the hand of God didn't matter, because this ain't Diego Armando Maradona who's going to go and score, you know, the best goal of the century against England 1986, for those of us who remember right afterwards. No, this is Mo Salah who's going to do that and do nothing else for the rest of the game. And Crystal Palace are going to go up the other end with Eddie Nketiah, left foot volley. The phone start ringing. Your defense is in trouble. Nketiah's in the room. I said, whoa. And just like that, Crystal Palace go 18 unbeaten. Liverpool's invincible run is over. And again, let's call a spade a spade. It's been coming for a long time. Let's stop pretending that like it's incredible performances from game one till now. I'm going to be so honest with you. I can't even tell you one good game in the league for 90 minutes from Liverpool this season. Atleti in the Champions League was a good performance. In the league, I'm sorry, I cannot name you one. We spoke about Salah already. Verts 007. For me, I'm no longer defending him. I still think he's a great player, but far be it from me to keep on backing it. I thought, you know what? Let me give him that last life. He lost me again. Bradley was terrible. Konate was honking. McAllister was McAllister. Szoboszlai, I'm sure you're going to come and tell me he was beast again, so I'm not going to say too much about that. What a beast Szoboszlai is. And then, yeah, Isak will allow him in it. Fitness thing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you're under surveillance. On to the next. Let's go to Chelsea. We'll do the quick Premier League games, and then we'll fly to Spain, because I know the Madrid derby there's a lot of talking points. Chelsea, Brighton. They're going to say it again. I am going to get called the mad one for saying just what I see with my eyes that I've seen for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. The same things that I've been seeing since pre-season. The Chelsea fans that were getting onto me, I will wait again. Will you say my bad or no? Because I told you as well, the only thing Enzo can do is wait at the back post and score header open goals. And what happened in this game? Granted, Chelsea were the better team in that first half. And guess what happens? Enzo scores a literal open goal from 1 yard out. And now they're going to come and message me. They were messaging me on Instagram. Saying, oh, hold that. Enzo, talk now. I'm here. My chest is here, bro. Bring whatever artillery you want. I'm here. Yes, I said it. Because guess what? You still got cooked. And guess what? You cannot keep on saying, oh, we would have won if it wasn't for red card, if it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for that. Red cards are part of the game. Are you going to argue that it wasn't a red? Because I know what happened. It definitely, was a red. But again, there we go. It is what it is. I want to give a shout out to Reece James, to be fair, for the cross. But here's where I have the issue now. Reece James crossing, fantastic, deadly. And we're going to get that Neanderthal in the comments that keeps on crying about anything to do with Chelsea. And I'm going to ask you, what do you want me to say good about this game, please? Other than playing better in the first half. The complete capitulation, yet again, from the same players that you've been gassing up, saying, oh, bring this guy, bring that guy. Bring this guy, he's going to be a beast. Lavia's so cold, he looks rusty. Oh, the Cobham boys, the centre-back, they're so beast. They make their mistakes. And then what do you know? We see the Reece James DM experiment, or whatever you want to call it, fail miserably again, because we now see Gusto out wide. He's just getting cooked by Mente, whipping in crosses, and we see Danny Nitaki Mensah Welbeck, another Ghanaian, after, of course, Nketiah scoring. Another Ghanaian former Arsenal player, actually. Welbeck now gets the goal to level it, and at that moment, I can't lie, we knew what was going to happen, bro. Like, you're against 10 men. We know what Maresca is like. I say it again. This is a coward. I'm sorry to tell you, this is a coward. You spent 60 M's on Garnacho, 60 M's on Gittens, all these man. Why aren't they playing? Instead of being angry at me, saying, why does he always say bad things, be angry at the guys making those decisions. We tried to tell you, world champions of what? You're not understanding that. I enjoyed that tournament. I watched every single game. I cannot keep saying it enough. Every single game. I was up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. making videos for you guys about Club World Cup on TikTok. I watched it and I enjoyed it. But winning the Club World Cup does not make you a serious team in the league. I'm so sorry to tell you. But I hope now you can stop saying it's only one game, because it's now 2 games, 3 games, whatever. Anyway, let's move on. There were some other Premier League games. We'll do United last because I've already made like a whole video on them. So City, very quickly, because I didn't really get to watch it. Like I said, I was doing DJ, you know, changing tabs. DJ Esther. So City, again, Haaland brace in the 90th minute. Big ups to him. Steve, 2 own goals. Very unlucky. To be fair, from what I saw, Burnley put up a fight. They just got burnt by, pardon the pun, unlucky own goals. And Doku, whenever I kind of... Sorry, I didn't switch tab because obviously it was 3 p.m. kickoff. I would never watch illegal streams. I was on the radio and I was changing frequencies and I was hearing Doku, 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 Doku. And then I hear, oh, Haaland. So, yeah, Burnley unlucky, but in the end, I mean, the quality showed in it. City win 5-1, pretty comfortable from them. Forest lost 1-0 to Sunderland. Good header from a little set piece. Big Ange, new manager bounce, has led to 3 losses and 2 draws. So, big ups to him. Congrats on that. There were 2 more games, right? Leeds Bournemouth, I didn't watch a second of it, so I'm not even going to waste you much time. 2-2 draw. Congrats to them. Spurs Wolves. Wolves can feel very hard done by. Wolves have absolutely packed Spurs in for a lot of this game, right? See, last time when I said that Spurs were actually better against Brighton but were losing, this time it was Wolves were all over them. Should have been 3-4-0 at a point. The only player who even showed up a little bit was Kudus in the first half for Spurs anyway. And it kept making me think, again, Palhinha, you aren't that guy. Now, hear me out. I'm talking about at the time, right? I'm thinking, Palhinha, you ain't him, bro. Let it go. Stop doing these long shots. He was taking shots from like 30 yards here in second half. And guys are looking at him like, bro, just give me the pass. Because, again, we repeat, right? These midfields, you aren't back at... You're not at like Brentford or something, right? Thomas Frank. You have to take it to these teams. Wolves have 0 points, by the way. I want to clarify. Wolves were on 0 points in the league going into this game. You're at home. Take the game to them. Why are you bringing this kind of midfield to there? And it just wasn't working. And they were spamming crosses endlessly. Like a United versus Fulham under... Who was it under? Was it under Van Gaal? I've forgotten already. Was it David Moyes? It might have been Moyes. It was years ago, bro. Maybe it'd been Moyes. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. There was bare crosses. Nothing was landing. Xavi Simons this game, not a good shift. The Sky Sports commentators were violating as well, bro. He got hooked off second half saying, is he your man of the match? I said, nah, man. You man are rude. You man are really, really rude. And eventually, to be fair, Wolves obviously, you know, make it 1-0. They're cooking, whatever, blah, 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 blah. We're thinking, yeah, at this point, Spurs have offered nothing. They've barely even laid a glove on them second half, despite, you know, being 1-0 down. But finally, after me saying, Palhinha, what are you doing on this pitch? He ends up being the one in like the 91st, 92nd minute. Lovely finish outside the box, I think it was. Just kind of on the half volley-ish, but like finesses it bottom right corner. Here's the issue. Everybody was shouting about like the whole VAR thing with Arsenal City, where Zubimendi went to grab the ball, and they said, why didn't all 11 players go and grab the ball together? Like they're going to come and sing Kumbaya. Palhinha has taken off his shirt, run to the crowd like he's doing Incredible Hulk against a team with 0 points at the bottom of the league. Is that acceptable? I just want to know from you guys. You guys that were commenting saying that it's impossible that you should have 11 players coming to bring the ball at the same time. Is that allowed? I don't know personally, but nonetheless, Spurs get a draw. They should feel honestly very blessed to get that draw because they didn't deserve it one bit in this game. And United, I spoke about it already. I'm going to give it maybe 60 seconds max. Things that I didn't cover. Amorim still not been sacked. Why is that the case? I made a video 8 hours ago saying by the time this goes out, I want to see Fabrizio. Here we go. Ruben Amorim has been sacked by Manchester United to replace by Graham Potter. I haven't seen that yet. This was a bad performance. I didn't touch on Mbuemo, by the way, who against his former team, I don't know if it was a stinker or he was doing, you know, top 10 respect moments, a YouTube compilation, because he didn't have a shot on target or off target against Brentford. So maybe it is a respecting. I don't know. This was a really bad performance. Bruno, one of his worst games, and that's saying something because his compilation of bad games, really, really bad. But again, he will score 2 weeks from now, and they're going to say, oh, Bruno has carried us. Carried you to what? You are 15th again. How is it that every time, no matter the result, you end up in 15th, but you are gassing it because you played beast in the first game, in the first half against Arsenal? Fair enough, man. Anyway, enough on United. Let's go to Spain, because we had the Madrid derby, and this one, I'm going to have to hold my hands up for a few things here. I went into this thinking Madrid would scrape a win. I went like 2-1, 3-2, like a one-goal win, but Mbappe will be too much. From the moment this game kicked off, I can't lie, the Wanda Metropolitano were... From the moment this game kicked off, the Riyadh Air Stadium, whatever you want to call it these days, it was bouncing, bro. I said, and they've already got this one wrong before we even saw a ball kicked. Lo and behold, minute 14, Leno Man, terrible player by the way, but anyway, he bags a header. I'm thinking, long day. I need these guys to step up and show us why they are trying to win this league, with Barcelona waiting in the wings for that game, you know, later this weekend. Again, I mentioned Arda Güler, right? This game, it seemed as though he was going to finally show up, because I'm not going to lie to you, first 20 minutes, again, he was a bit shaky, losing the ball and whatnot. It felt like the atmosphere was too big for him, but he did deliver the assist to Mbappe, who, again, lethal as ever, bro. This guy, he's the best in the world. I can't lie. I know they lost today and it shouldn't be an Mbappe glazing session, but this guy's ridiculous, bro. Because although we can credit Arda for the assist 100%, I'm going to say, you know what? I ask you to deliver properly when it really matters, and you've done that today. Anybody can get assists with Mbappe there, bro. When they keep on bringing me all the stats about like the most XG created, the most chance created, whatever, bro, you're playing with Mbappe. This guy can turn water into wine. Chances that no one else can even get to the ball, he'll get there and he'll go and get you a goal. So, you know, big respect to them. But Arda Güler had his own moment, because we see Vinny do a little dribble, cuts it back, and Arda, lovely sweeping finish. Not on the volley, like a half volley, if you will, to go 2-1 up. And I'm thinking, all right, Arda has arrived away Atletico. I was wrong. I was wrong, because Atleti continued to dominate. Real Madrid showed that, listen, their lead was not deserved whatsoever, all right? They had a couple sucker punches and that was it. Atleti came back and it was Soloff, chance after chance after chance, missing, or just like Alisson, Courtois was going crazy, bro. Soloff was moving like, if you watched my first FIFA stream 2 days ago, was it 2 days ago? Yesterday, I think it was. I jumped back on FIFA for the first time in like 2 years on Twitch, so, you know, go follow in there. My striker's Soloff, innit? And I was going invincible in like Division 8 with Soloff as my striker. But this version of Soloff, we weren't seeing that, bro. We were not seeing that whatsoever until right on halftime, he finally gets the head up. Boosh! Had he played against like Barca, he probably would have had a hat-trick, but for some reason against Real Madrid, maybe he doesn't want to score as much. I don't know what the scenario is. But anyway, second half, the entire game flipped again. But this is where I have an issue as well. So, obviously, Arda Güler, who I've been praising in this video, gives away a pen. I don't really think it's his fault, you know. Am I like going too lenient on him? I don't really think it's his fault. He clears the ball and his foot is a bit high. I don't really see how that's like a stonewall penalty. Maybe I'm, you know, just saying it because I wanted to get the right result. I don't know. I don't think it was a penalty, but anyway, Julian Alvarez, we know what happened when they play, you know, Champions League, when he had that double slip penalty and whatever. No issues this time, slots it home. Atleti now retake the lead, and then another set piece. Listen, he scores a pen, and then he goes and says, you know what? Nah, I don't want that. And then he bangs a free kick in. Basically, this brother was moving like Milinko Pantic, who was also at Atleti back in 1996, for those of us who remember. That guy used to bag free kicks, penalties, all sorts of set pieces. He was there. 4-2, and again, they've brought off Arda at this point. I'm thinking, no, what have you done? You've kind of blamed him for a penalty that wasn't really his fault. He was the one that was keeping you in this game, because of the blink of an eye, a bit of Arda magic that we all know he has capable. He didn't want to hear it. He's off, and before you know it, the game's over, wrapped up, because guess who scores? Antoine Griezmann even got on the score sheet. That is how bad Madrid were defending. I've got the lineup in front of me, and I want to say, Dean Huijsen, this was not it, bro. I've been gassing him as one of the best signings of the summer. I still think he's class for his age as well. Incredible centre-back. This may have been his worst game. Valverde, massive question marks. They're calling him Gerard Region or whatever. That ain't Gerard, bro. That ain't Gerard. Go drink your mate or whatever it is in Uruguay that you're drinking. He's been infected by Ugarte. I don't even know how I got that in, but if you rate that one, you know what to do, man. Get a liquid subscription. I know you man love it when I do the Ugarte thing, so make sure you subscribe and keep the subscriptions coming. We're on the road to 50k. But yeah, listen, Atleti win 5-2, steamrolled them, fully deserved win, no questions asked about it. Alonso gets his first L. Learning curve, innit? At the end of the day, you cannot win every single game, so you know it is what it is. The other Spanish game, Villarreal beat Bilbao 1-0. Molero with the golazo. So yeah, big up to them. Villarreal still flying. One of my underdog predictions earlier on. So yeah, GG to them. We'll quickly fly to Italy, Germany, and then France, and I'll let you guys enjoy your night. Because in Italy, I watched the Inter game where they won 2-0 against Cagliari. To be fair, pretty controlled performance. Nothing special about it, you know what I mean? Like we've seen guys get their first goal for the club and whatnot, but it wasn't like a barnstorming vintage Inter, right? Lautaro bagged, sure, but again, it's Cagliari in it. So when Lautaro bags be Cagliari, it's like, yeah, water's wet. What a surprise that is. And Juve, speaking of Turkish superstars, you know, again, I'm an honest man. I was gassing up Kenan Yildiz saying, yo, you've lapped Arda Güler. On this day only, the roles were reversed because Arda was delivering, albeit he got hooked. Kenan Yildiz, nowhere to be seen. Juve got a late equalizer to draw 1-1 with Atalanta. Fair play to them. Off to Germany, where it was basically away days. Everybody was eating, bro, because Dortmund went away from home. They won 2-0 against Mainz. Leverkusen went away St. Pauli, 1-2-1. And the big one, Eintracht Frankfurt. I was about to give them the biggest my bad, and I was about to give them the biggest not my bad ever, because they went 6-0 up away from home and conceded 4 goals to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Had that gone to 6-6, that would have been the biggest bottle in footballing history, bro. I think at that point, everyone must get sacked. But yeah, there we are. And the last game I want to touch on, PSG Auxerre. You know, great tifos. Congrats to Dembele and whatnot on the Ballon d'Or and blah, 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 blah. You get the point by now. We know what PSG are on when it comes to incredible tifos and the flares and the lights and whatnot. A calm 2-0 win against Auxerre. Nothing surprising there. But alas, there we have it. A lot to cover today. Apologies. And I'm knackered as well because I've been doing, again, the TikTok, the YouTube, everything. I'm sure for City fans, for Arsenal fans, for many fans, today was a good day. So I want to ask you, if you're here this far in the video, what was your best hate watch game of all time? Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Some more big games in a bit. Bosh.